last video and talk to you a little bit about where I'm at, headspace wise, everything. I touched a little bit on it in the previous video, just talking about sort of things like stress, work, all that sort of stuff. So thought I'd talk to you while I have my pre-workout. Pull day today. So I'll take camera down. I'll do like not necessarily too much vlogging, but just more just like a bit of a workout. Maybe talk a little bit after as well. But what I thought would be quite useful is just to be a bit open and honest about where I'm at, how I'm feeling. So for most people who know me, who probably the ones who watch these videos, I work for the civil service, work for the Home Office, and I've really struggled recently, like really found it quite stressful, not in the sense of being overly busy, but like the complete opposite. Like having nothing to do, really just not enjoying the work life, and finding that I'm sort of logging on every day with nothing to do, and I'm losing that sort of sense of purpose almost. And that's really difficult when you're working, when you spend like 5 days of your week, every single week, your life is sort of consumed 8 hours a day, 5 days a week by work. And to sort of just sit there and pass the day by was getting really, really difficult. Now, when I was kind of in off season and eating a lot, like it wasn't necessarily too much of a bad thing because I was eating like every 2 hours from like 7 o'clock in the morning. So most of my day was spent like, when I was working from home, it was spent like meal prepping. It was spent eating food. Like I didn't have meetings and stuff to do, so I'd just sort of sit and watch something while I'm eating and pass the day by. And then before I knew it, it was time to go to the gym, train, come back. So I had a really good routine, but as obviously food has got like lighter and I'm on less calories, affects your mood anyway. So you're obviously in a headspace where your mood is a little bit lower, there's lower testosterone because I'm just not on as much food. So that's really difficult. You're trying to balance like being in a diet and quite at this point, quite deep in the diet now. You have to balance that and the emotions you're balancing with that side of things, then also balancing it with the sort of work side of things as well. And because of that stress, like I'm quite prone to getting styes. You'd have seen in vlog that I put on when I was in Amsterdam, I had one at that moment in time, and that is because I've been stressed because I'm just essentially like going in every day having nothing to do. Now, the week before last, I sort of had a bit of a meltdown. So I told Jack about it. I reached out to him. We reset a few things, and I think that's one thing that people should do who have coaches. I think people who've got an online coach, when you're struggling and not in the right headspace, reach out to them and tell them, because they can make changes and do things that might help. Like it's someone to talk to first. They're like, that's what you're on. Your coaches aren't just there for fitness; they're there for your mental health, your well-being, all that sort of stuff as well. So reach out to them and talk to them about it. But for me and Jack, what we did is we upped food a little bit, put a bit more back into my system, and it really helps. Like it really like put me back in a better headspace straight, almost quite straight instantly, to be honest. But I kind of, because I'd reached out to someone, I knew what I needed to sort of start thinking about doing and talking to other people. Spoke to my family, but on that Thursday evening of the week where I had a meltdown, that was like the day that I had a bit, like I had 2 or 3 days in a row where I'd had nothing to do. I'd spent the day just waiting around to go to the gym, coming home, training, and then I obviously have coaching. I do my online coaching, but that's not necessarily taking up a full day of every single day. So I could put some effort into that, but if I put all my effort into it, it'd be done in a couple of hours, in an hour or two within a day. So it's like I've still got 6-7 hours of my day still to sort of find something to do, and I have to sort of sit at my desk, be online, be active. So that was really difficult. What I did is I spoke to my mum, spoke to my sister, spoke to a couple of friends, and ended up going into a GP on the Monday who recommended potentially being signed off with stress. Now, I am actually in the process of applying for a couple of other jobs, and I'm waiting to hear back from them. And with the hope that if I get one of them, I can just move on and move out of my role that I'm in at the minute. But what that essentially did was like, I've been proactive in finding something to do to like as a different opportunity, but at the same time, I've still got another out as well. And I think the reason I'm doing this and sitting down and talking through on this video is I want other people who watch these videos, you know, like for me, I can post a lot on my Instagram, I post on my YouTube, like I'm always in a good mood, I'm always having a good laugh, like I've got a really good routine, everything's nailed, like I'm motivated, I'm smashing, from my perspective, I think I'm smashing everything, but behind the scenes, like you don't necessarily see what people are always dealing with, and like for me, I've dealt with like quite a lot emotionally this last couple of weeks, last couple of months, and it's been quite difficult. But the gym and the diet has kind of been an escape from that. But it's just obviously it's got to that point now where food is so much lower, my moods are up and down. That like that coupled with how I'm feeling about work has kind of like taken its toll on me. So as I said, so I've spoken to it on to my GP. He's recommended getting signed off if I don't get one of these jobs, which obviously is an out. And then what I think I might do is potentially look at getting signed off, and then when I come back, just requesting a move to a completely different team, because the jobs I've been applying for have been on promotion, and if I don't get that promotion, like it's fine. For me, I'm like, if I'm looking for a new job, I might as well see if I can get a higher position, a bit more money. It's great, it's progressing in my career. But if not, I'll have that sort of time signed off, come back, and then just request to be moved somewhere completely different, and hope that helps. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, and I think it's just quite important just to sort of stress to people, not just from a fitness perspective, people who are in the fitness industry and doing what online coaching, like gym, Instagram, all that sort of stuff. Just generally people who are on a day-to-day, like normal life. Like if there are times where you're really struggling and not feeling like things are going well, and there are signs that obviously you're being run down. Like for me, my styes are a massive sign that like I'm stressed and run down at this moment in time. Take the steps to like sort it and talk to people. Don't like they say it all the time, like you should talk to people when you're really struggling. It's so true. Like don't put yourself further in the hole. It's easy, and it's the same advice you give. Like you kind of sometimes. I was talking to Jack about it yesterday with talking to me about how he'd like got quite stressed out. He had loads going on. He would just non-stop all the time, and it's. But if I was sitting down talking to him about how I was feeling, he'd give me all the advice that he actually should be taking as well. And that's my best bit of advice I can give anyone is the advice you know is the right advice to give to other people. Give it to yourself. Like look at it from the other side and look at yourself as if you were a friend, and what advice would you give them? What would you tell them to do? And then that is normally where like that's what advice you'll best give and want to take. So yeah, so quite a deep one, but I thought it'd be a nice little sort of segue into just talking to people about like obviously prep is difficult, diets are difficult. Like people who say people who see it from sort of the online, they see it on Instagram, see it on social media, reels, YouTube. They'll see people just going through it, and like not everyone talks about the mental struggle. Obviously, Chris Bumstead's massive for that. It's kind of how he got famous from it because he's an incredible shape. But a big part of his YouTube was the fact that he was very open and honest and very like conscious about being mindful and open and communicative with his followers and his friends and his family. And that's what I want to try and do with this. Like, diets aren't easy. It's a mental battle as much as it is a physical battle. And when you're dealing with things outside of that gym sort of prep diet lifestyle, it all adds up. And what you've got to do is like make sure that you're aware of that, talk to the right people, be open and honest, and deal with it. And yeah, so I am going to finish my pre-workout. I'll see you in the gym. I've obviously, as you can probably see, I started building Hogwarts. I'll put a photo up actually. I built Hogwarts I spent like a week doing it. So I'll put a photo up here somewhere. I got really addicted now, and I'm buying all the other bits that you can add on to the set. So I'm currently in the middle of building the like dock boat thing. More because I wanted the minifigures. This one's got McGonagall, and she's not in the main Hogwarts one, so I want her as well. So I've got that, and then I've got the potion set to build. So that's kind of like last year when I did my diet and prep. I watched all the Marvel movies back to back. This year it's Lego. Slightly more expensive habit, but I'm enjoying it. So that's where I'm at. And obviously, like I know not many people will watch these videos, but I hope talking about it and being open and honest and like telling people how I'm feeling, and like I'm someone who really tries to look like I'm put together on social media. I'm very active and proactive on it, and I want people to be able to know that like those difficulties affect everyone. And the best thing I can say is talk to people about it, see your doctors, like get the right advice. Don't just think you can sort of swallow the pill and crack on, because eventually it catches up with you big time. So I'm looking forward to this gym session. Big pull day coming. It's 26 degrees though, so it's going to be a hot workout, which I'm not looking forward to. But we'll power through. So other than that, I'll see you down at the gym. Thanks for listening. Right, we're back. That was a good workout. Like, so hot though. It's UK, for anyone who's not in the UK watching this, which probably won't be many of you, the UK does not deal well with heat, and neither do I. So, yeah, it was not a good one, that. Unreal session, but just boiling. So, I'm back now, post-workout rice pudding. That has unfortunately dropped to 70 grams. Thank you very much, Jack. Yeah, it's dropped down to 70 grams as we push deeper into this deficit. I think I said yesterday I was going to do a day of eating, but because I'm doing a day of eating tomorrow on a refeed, I just thought, like, there's no point doing that. With just general vlog, how my headspace is, sit down post-workout. So I've got a few bits to do, like coaching, do some editing. I'm currently in the middle of editing yesterday's or the previous video. So finish that off, hopefully get that up like today, tomorrow, which will be either Thursday the 10th or Friday the 11th. And yeah, so I'm gonna have this. I'm on my How I Met Your Mother binge at the minute. I am on the second to last episode, aka before it all goes downhill, because why they ever put Ted and Robbie back together, I do not know. And I'm fuming about it. Should have been just Barney and Robin, Ted and Tracy, happy as Larry. But yeah, so I'm just gonna like chill out now. Rest of my day, I'm doing nothing. Just gonna tidy up, admin, life, all that sort of stuff. And then tomorrow is gonna be a big leg day. Tomorrow is the last ever training session with my dad while he's in Sheffield before he moves out of Chef. I'm sure I'll do sessions with him in the future, but this is like the last of like being able to do it consistently. So we're doing a big leg day. Refeed day as well, so like the stars have aligned, which is nice. But we're going to train first thing in the mornings because it'll be a little bit cooler. So yeah, so it's been a pleasure. As always, feedback. Tell me what you're liking. Tell me what you're disliking. Obviously, like, subscribe, leave a comment. And yeah, I'm really back in the swing of all this, feeling in a really good headspace again. Like I said at the start of this video, seeing doctors, feeling like much better in my head with what I want to do, and like put a bit more passion into this. Feels like a bit of a passion project now, and like really push it. So let's just keep at it, keep consistent, as I'm doing with everything else at the minute. And yeah, it's a good little habit and a good little hobby to have. So time to chill out and try not to die in this heat wave. And I will catch you in a bit. As I say, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I thank you for your time.